Hello and welcome back everybody. Today I'm going to be reviewing an Iron 2 Soraka gameplay. Tech, I know you said you wanted to work on warding and how to ward better, but I took a quick overview of the gameplay so far. I haven't gone over everything, I just went over the first few seconds here. And I think we need to work on the fundamentals more, so we're going to go over that with you. The very first thing is you need to be in lane when the minions get there, because now Thresh and Israel are going to hit their level 2 power spike before you. Soraka being a very weak champion versus Thresh and Israel puts you guys at an advantage. If the Thresh was good, he would have hooked into Flay here a little bit earlier for the Israel. So the very first thing is to be in lane. So remember to be in lane. That's the very first thing when all the minions spawn. Because we get into lane way too late, now we don't have any HP, and now we can't really do anything. And then our ADC just gets poked out. So these are way more important for you. These fundamentals are way more important for you to learn than to learn about warding. And warding is more like complex stuff. Once you get better at the game, then that's when you want to worry about it. So generically, what you want to do is take your Q first and then your W second. Or if you want to play passive, you can take your W first and then Q second. Because right now, if you could heal Samira back to full HP, you guys wouldn't be able to heal. He's silenced, which is decent. Israel couldn't flash away. So that was a nice silence overall, but having the heal there would be a lot more helpful because you could just heal Samira and you wouldn't have had to flash to her. You don't need to flash her necessarily if you just stick to your Samira, right? So Samira's over here. Samira's right here. And you're right over here. And now, so what you should do is just be closer to Samira in general so that you don't have to flash, because look what happens here is now you guys are so far from each other. You guys are literally flash distance apart. And now you can't heal or do anything for her. Now she goes in, she's like three flashes away from you at this point. So it's a good silence, but Israel already E'd, but then your silence prevents Israel from Israel from flashing out, which is good, but it's just better if you had the W, you could just go and heal the Samira without having to flash. So you had to flash there. Also, like, you could have been healing Samira at these parts of the game. Like right here, if you had W, you could be healing Samira and just chuck a potion or just back, right? Because you don't have any potions, so you could just back. Don't start QE or EQ. Make sure you start QW or WQ. W is very essential for Soraka, and it helps your ADC a lot out in the fact that because you got to lane late, you guys don't have HP. And because you guys don't have HP, then you guys lose out on CS gold and possibly getting kills. Luckily, this is Iron 2, and the Thresh tried to dive you guys around level 3, and so now we're just in a better position because of the Thresh. First buy on Soraka, it's gonna be boots. Okay, so this is not a bad buy versus Thresh because now you can dodge his hooks better. However, if you want to play a little bit more passive, because Samira does have W, and as long as you keep your eye on Thresh, you don't necessarily need boots, but boots is a good buy. Especially since you're just, if you're not as well aware of the enemy support, then it's good for you to have boots. And now you're looking for wards for vision, which is decent. I mean, it's not bad, but you want to get into lane so you can hit level 6 as soon as possible. Because when you hit level 6, that's like a power spike for Soraka. So you can heal top lane, you can heal mid lane in clutch situations. And that could actually win the game for you. So make sure you try to hit that level 6, get that minion XP. Wards are important, but they're not everything. Wards are overhyped in my opinion. So let's put this vision to red, right? So let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people here. So you don't necessarily need to ward this area and this, right? I mean, this was a good ward, but you don't necessarily need to ward anywhere else because we have vision on everyone, right? So this is why I say warding isn't as important as it seems to be, because you always have information on people on the map, especially in these low elos. People are always showing up, so you just have to watch. What happened there? Oh, okay, so you healed. So like I said, again, like if your ADC is gonna take heal, make sure you take barrier. Just help you survive longer because you're very squishy and you also give a lot of HP to people. Also, I've told you this before in the past, don't use your heal like that. Don't use it just because you need to use it, alright? Let's go over this play one more time. Just because she gets hooked, there's no way she's gonna die here. She still has her W to block a lot of damage, her wind wall, so you don't need to do that. And then also just stand further behind her, and like right now, let me show you in slow motion here. So like your main threat right here is not Thresh, so you're standing diagonal from Thresh. But your main threat in this matchup is Israel, because Israel can poke you out easily. So what you want to do is position diagonal from Israel this way. Now Thresh already used his main ability, which was this hook, so you don't have to be scared of Thresh anymore. The guy you're scared of now is Israel, unless like if you're confident too, you can just like walk up and Q silence Israel, and then you guys win the trade that way as well. And you just throw out your heal here, and you waste a huge summoner spell. You walk into the Thresh, and now you get 1v2 pretty much. I mean, it's a 2v2, but both of these guys are chunking you out. Samira's already walking back. You hit your silence on Thresh, but like I said, remember, Thresh only has 2 abilities. Q, E, and then autos. Other than that, Thresh is not doing anything else. However, Israel's going to be spamming Q all day. So Israel chunks you and Samira both out, which is not good. Because like you can see clearly here, your Silas is coming. These guys are pushed in. So blue, whenever you're pushing like this, which I assume you're pushing like this a lot because you play Soraka. Soraka's a strong laner, but if you don't know how to use her kit properly, then you'll also be bullied a lot, just like in this case. So whenever the enemies are here, your jungle is anywhere around here, in these areas, you always want to expect a gank from them. And always know your jungle's abilities and if they gank early or they don't, right? Silas is pretty strong early. If Silas lands his E, this is not a jungler. This is a Tahm Kench jungle level 4 topside, but your mid laner is roaming anyways. And so you always want to keep an eye on the map. And now when your mid laner is roaming, your mid laner is 2-0 at this point. So you should be pretty confident. Press tab and you'll see. And then like right here, you should be following up with this play right here. The main thing for you to do here, blue, is notice your mid laner is coming down this side, and then play a little bit more aggressive. And when you're a little bit more aggressive like this, they won't notice Silas as much. This Izer's gonna zone in on you. Because he zones in on you and tries to kill you. If you had your heal up, you could still bait him, or if you had barrier, you could bait him even harder. Just silence him or QE him, and then Silas will be able to get there right away, and you get an assist, and Silas gets a kill, or maybe Samira gets a kill. However, now Silas goes in by himself and just gets a kill by himself. So it works out, but we just don't maximize our gold. You have the Spell Thief's Edge, but because you're not hitting them like every so often, you want to be hitting them to make sure you get the gold from Spell Thief's Edge. And that also makes it so you can ward sooner into the game, earlier into the game. So make sure you're poking people with like either auto, Q, or E, so that you get the 3 procs off. And when you're playing, you'll see like on your champion bar, you'll see a little something up here that says like it'll go from 3 to 1, and then like stacks, and then you'll notice every time you hit them you get gold. So that's the point of being a support, is making it hard for them. And this was the play you're talking about. Okay. Lovely. That's a nice steal. And so like sometimes like you said with warding, like if your ADC's out from lane like this, you can go over here and ward over here too, just to provide value to the team. But here again, what I noticed a lot from you, blue, is you use your silence a lot. That's always the first thing you use. Your combo should never be to silence first. Your combo should always be, so you silence right away. Your combo should always be hit Q first to slow them, and then throw down your E. Right up. Otherwise, like if it's an assassin jumping onto your carry, then that's when you throw your silence onto your carry. Like if let's just pretend Echo jumped here on Samira. What you want to do is just throw your E right away, and then after you throw your E, throw your Q to slow them, and then that's how you trap them. And also that's how you prevent Echo from ulting if Echo had level 6. Oh, you silence right here, so you miss your silence on Thresh. Right, so the way to use your silence is wait for them to engage on you, or wait until you land a good Q, and then once you land that like Q on Israel, instead of placing the Q right on top of Israel here, place it on where he's gonna go, like right where here. And so because he's gonna have to walk this way, then that way he'll be stuck there. Otherwise he'll have to walk left or right. Because he walks left or right, he's already slowed by your Q, right? It's gonna make it easier for Samir to kill him, also harder for Thresh to peel for him. So don't just throw your E down for no reason. I understand what you want to do is you see Thresh coming in, so you want to silence him, but then you just end up wasting it because Thresh isn't really committing, right? And now right here when Israel dashes in E like that, that's when you would silence because then it would be hard to run away. Also, flashing over after Israel is not the correct play. You always want to save your flash for like when you actually need it to save a team or to run away. Also right here, you need to be focusing on the Thresh here. You Q Thresh once, which is nice, but you need to repeatedly auto him and Q him. This could have been a free double.
Showtime!
And now Samira brings flash for it, and Samira dies for it, right? So, and you also didn't heal Samira when she dies, so you need to focus on healing people more. You need to focus on because like you might not think it's a lot, but your Q like it slows them for a huge chunk, and it's actually huge. Like if you Q Thresh here, then Q Thresh over here again, and then you Q one more time and you silence him, then it's like over for him, right? Because you silence one more time over here, so like you could have Q'd once and then silence him, and then he would have been a free kill. Also, when Samira goes in, like if Samira already commits to going in, just heal the Samira as much as you can. Like Samira's tanking turret, you're not tanking turret, so you don't have to be scared. And what do? We throw the silence right away. We don't Q the Thresh. We do hit the silence, which is nice. So right here, we're focusing Israel, and then she's focusing Thresh. So let's just focus one person, right? Either choose Thresh or Israel, and if your team like. Israel would be the right one to go for, but because your team's not going on to Israel and they're going to Thresh, just switch over and focus one person, right? And now, because like Tom Kench goes to Thresh now, and then Samira goes to Israel now because Israel eat over, but then now it's just a mess. You're heading this way, and your ADC is heading this way, so always just stay with your ADC. So Samira is really strong right now too, so you don't have to be afraid of them. You should be positioning a little bit more forward with Samira. And go wherever Samira goes because Samira can just one-shot them at this point because she has so much items compared to Israel. But Israel has 3,000 gold on him and Samira has 4,000 gold on her. And so there's just a huge difference in stats. Or let's look at Samira's 130 AD and Israel is 180. So that's like a 30 AD diff. Samira has 1037 HP. Israel's only got 915 HP max. Overall, Samira has stronger stats and Samira can one-shot Israel and Thresh at this point because of her kit. So you throw the Q first and then the E. Very nice. So like another thing here is the reason why you don't hit the E is like you throw the Q first, but then you threw it in the center of him, right? So you hit the Q, throw it over here on the edge where you know he wants to walk to, and that way he'll have to like go walk backwards to you or walk left or right to avoid it, and then that way you guys can get the kill. Here again, same issue because he didn't go in with Samira. Samira has to focus two different. Samira has to fight herself off here, and she does fine because like she's so strong. But see where if you walked in with Samira here, you guys would have gotten a free double. You guys get a free double anyways because the Samira knows what she's doing. But I guess you guys don't.
Come get me for life.
Oh wow. Okay, that's unfortunate. See, so this would have been a free triple here if you would have just done there. And now you just get hooked. And now you try to chase the kill for yourself. Right, so if you just support your ADC, be where your ADC is at, heal them when they need you to heal, and slow them with your Q, and then wherever the enemy is gonna walk, place your silence in front of where they're gonna walk, and that's how you land your silence. So I know this is a top lane Soraka gameplay, but it's a good idea. I just want to show you this clip where he uses his E perfectly.
First blood.
And that's my kill, right? So he walks here, and so he sees the rumble. I think he queued before he saw the rumble, honestly, because it buffered. Now he sees the rumble. Notice he doesn't place the middle of the circle on top of rumble because rumble can just walk out, right? He knows rumble's gonna want to chase him. He knows rumble's gonna want to keep chasing him. So he throws like the edge of the E outside by the rumble here, and then the rumble has to keep chasing him. Because the rumble keeps chasing him, boom, the E hits and he gets rooted, right? Unfortunately, he didn't flash for the flash here, so then he does die. He does get to land the 1 Q on the rumble here. Because he lands the Q on rumble here, he just gets the free kill. And that was a 1v2 as Soraka, right? And so that's like how you use her kit is Q to slow always. and E in front of them so that they get stuck like that. Here are the main points is you have to get to your lane on time before the minions die. That way you hit your level 6. You don't want to stay away from lane for too long. I know it's important to ward, but it's not always that important to ward. Make sure you look at the map. That way, when you look at the map, you know where exactly everyone is. You don't have to always ward. Number 2 is learn PvP fundamentals, right? Learn how to use your kit, learn the enemy champion's kit, and then so that you can like dodge thresh hook, thresh flay after like Alistar headbutts into a ground pound. These two champions are not dangerous anymore. You don't have to worry about them as much. Then you go turn and focus on the ADC. Also, start QW, not QE or EQ or WQ. Make sure you max your W first for max healing and max CD. Also, throw your E in front of you where you think they are going, not where they currently are. That way, they have to either walk around it, or which takes them more time to walk around it, or they walk through it and they get rooted. And then number 5, proc your spell thieves for earlier access to wards, so you can ward earlier without having to buy so much pink control wards. And then also so you just get more gold in general, so when you back, you get a stronger back. Tier 2 boots earlier, or more CDR with your support items or ability haste. And number 6, stick with your carries. Heal for them and peel for them. Wherever they go with them. Number 7, don't use your flash and heal carelessly when not needed. If you just work on these 7 points right here, you're gonna improve so much. You're gonna climb from like Iron 2 all the way to like Silver 4. And then maybe at Silver 4 we can work on like some warding and stuff. But if you get really good at these, you can even get to gold with these tips right here alone. I know you said you wanted to learn how to rotate for objectives as well, Blue, and so make sure you guys go check out my how to rotate and macro guide in League of Legends Season 11. That's my latest video. It's going to be Viego mid versus Kiana. Check that one out. That one's going to teach you guys how to rotate and which objectives to take. If the dragon's spawning up, you would want to place a ward here, over here, and here. Just like if you're on this side of the map, then you want to ward here, here, and here, just so you see enemies incoming, people who are going to steal smite, that sort of stuff. You guys can also make a catch over here if you ward here. However, if you're playing on this side of the map and dragon spawning, then you want to ward here, here, and here, right? Like here, here is fine, here is fine, here is fine, right? And you want to ward these like before they get there. So not when dragon spawns, but like 30 seconds before dragon spawns, 1 minute before dragon spawns. And when you go to ward here, make sure you throw your Q and E into the bush first so you don't get caught. Because then if you die, then your team just is in a 4v5 and it makes it harder for them. So that's how you ward generically. Same thing for Baron. If Baron's here and you guys are trying to take Baron and you guys are playing from this side, then you ward here, here, maybe here, maybe here, maybe here, right? These are good warding spots, or maybe even here. There's a bush here. And that way you guys, if anyone coming from this direction, you guys can catch them. Anyone coming from this direction, your team sees them and they can catch them. But these warding techniques are are needed much later into the game, but because you wanted to learn about them, I want to make sure that I point these things out to you, right? Also, let's just say you guys aren't going for Dragon or Baron and you guys are going for like a top side turret or mid side turret or like let's just say you're going for top side turret, right? So let's just say you guys are going for this one, or you know what, let's pretend you guys are bot lane, right? You guys take this turret, and then you guys want to take this turret next. So if you guys are planning to take this turret, make sure you ward ahead of time over here, right? Or if you're mid side, and the enemies are either top side or bot side. If they're top side, you just ward around here. If they're bot side, you just ward around like it could be here, here, or here, right? And so that's how you ward. It's just depending on what you want to take, that's where you want to ward. Very simple. Keep it simple. Don't stress it over too much. If you want to learn how to rotate for objectives, which you did say you want to do, make sure you go to my video how to rotate and macro right here.